Good afternoon. No doubt you've been following us on our Goldman Sachs position. You're probably very worried, especially if by following you did exactly what we did. So here's what to do with the trade so that you can sleep at night. See, the catch with options is that you could be assigned. This means that the broker has chosen you to fill the request for the stock from an options buyer.
Hey Rachel! Just got off the phone with one of our clients. We need that Gonchar file in 3 weeks. Can you get that done? So can you get that done in 3 weeks?
No.
No? Well, you've got 3 weeks to do it, so get it on my desk in 3 weeks. Thanks. I chose you.
See, that is an assignment. You have a due date, in this instant the October expiration date for the option, which is the 3rd week in October.
Hey Rachel, okay, I just got a call. I'm going to need the Gonchar file middle of next week, alright? Thanks. You're a champ.
And therein lies the issue. See, early assignment is when your due date gets moved up. See, selling someone that option gives them the right to call away your stock or put stock to you at any time before the agreed upon date, as long as it's at the agreed upon price. Just like I got asked to get the report out faster than I had originally agreed to do does not mean that I haven't made the deal to get the report done. This is how options work. Even though you agree to hand over your stock or have stock handed over to you in the case of selling puts, that doesn't mean that someone can't choose to do it long before expiration. Last month we actually had someone take our veil away before expiration, a couple of days before actually. Considering the stock is traded down to where we gave it away, below it actually, we're just fine in that we don't have our stock. So you have to be prepared for early assignment when you have sold options, either calls or puts. Okay, so now that you know about assignment, you still want to know what we did with Goldman Sachs. We went back out to October to get some more protection. I bought the October 2010 140 strike puts for $14.30, and that's a lot of money. So if your goal is to just protect your downside, you may want to consider just buying your 145 puts back for $15.85. But since we think this sell-off in Goldman is getting really silly, we sold the GS October 2010 130 puts for $10.50 to help finance the purchase. So we only have about $1.80 exposure between 145 and 140 in the stock, where the protection picks back up again. We don't have downside risk until we get all the way down to 130 again. That is another $15 lower than where the stock is trading. Same dollar amount we did last time. Only $130 a share for Goldman Sachs means that we're getting the stock at 5.9 PE. Look, eventually the fundamentals will take over, and at that price the stock is worth owning, and it's hard to imagine downside below that. Although we don't have a crystal ball, having the Justice Department involved now means that they have to prove that Goldman had an intent to commit fraud, not just that some wrongdoing occurred. That's a lot tougher than getting a jury to say that Goldman is crooked and they owe some people money. So there you go. We now have protection for another $15 in downside and didn't give up all our gains to trade to do it. The chip space is getting blasted today with Micron, MU, Marvel, MRVL, NVIDIA, NVDA down notably. It's probably a little overdone if you're itching to buy something. We have plenty of cash still and still have those puts and still hold those calls, so we're in a good spot, especially when you consider how violent the bounce back up has been after its very recent decline. Also, ABB Limited, symbol ABB, has been down recently. They're a smart grid play with forward PE of 13.45 and $9.4 billion in cash with only $2.27 billion in debt. How's that for a balance sheet? It's looking pretty darn rock solid. Take a look at ABB today. Hope you have fun this week. I know that we did. Now that you're going to have 2 days to yourself, don't forget to search for Magnum Opus Financial on iTunes and download the 3 interviews we have in the book, as they're all really terrific. You can put them on your stereo and relax this weekend as you get to know James Altucher, Jared Levy, and Patty Edwards. If you don't have an iDevice, you should really consider going and buying one. But if you refuse, you can still listen to the interview right on our website with the handy flash player on our page for each trader. Don't tell Steve Jobs though, as the guy's quite an axe to grind against Adobe. Glad we sold Adobe weeks ago. It's not really a stock we want to own as they go head to head between Apple and Adobe. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.